Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and today I'm joined by Miguel and Mark. How's it going, guys?
Holla, holla, holla.
For me, it's the start of a whole new football season. NFL Combine, college kids getting ready for it. I'm ready for some football.
Ready for some football? Doesn't seem like it goes away, does it?
No. Not anymore. Especially not with what's the USF or UX. What are they calling it now?
UFL. The UFL.
That starts in a few weeks?
March
30th.
Yeah. Okay, a couple weeks. So we got Combine, a slight lull, UFL, draft, summer camp, season. Like it's like the season's about to start. Like what are we doing?
Yeah, this is your expertise here, Mark. You got you got all the college info and stats.
Now.
You know what
I mean? We're watching it right now.
You are going to be our
guru,
our Diddy, our Ray Diddy.
Look, it doesn't matter what I say. All Philadelphia wants Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So
that's it. That's all I want. I did a mock draft, one mock draft already, and that's who I took. That's
not what we're gonna take, but okay.
That's who. No, we're not gonna take that. No. Why would he? And why would the Eagles draft a linebacker? They haven't drafted a linebacker in the first round since 1979. But who's counting?
I got a package at my door.
Hey, what's that package?
Dumbbells.
Dumbbells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, Brian Johnson at your door.
Just got notification.
Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson's coming for you.
I got a new screen. Actually, threw a screen out today. Got a new screen.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. All right. So that will be we're the next few. I guess not. Yeah. Next week we're going to. This is actually the last podcast of this season, and so next week's season. We'll kick off next season with our combine review, I guess. And
review because it's happening right now.
It's happening right now. So we'll do our combine review, and then we'll also hit on some news in the day. But this podcast, we're going to be talking about our awards that we're going to give out as a podcast to the players on that we thought demonstrated breakout stars, the team MVP, offensive, defensive players, offensive rookies, comeback breakout players. So we're going to be talking all about that today. If you want to follow us on social media, Instagram, Squawking Eagles Podcast, also over at YouTube, Squawking Eagles Podcast, also over at TeePublic. I'm releasing shirts pretty much 2 or 3 a week now. I keep coming up with ideas. I keep putting out shirts. So go over there and check it out. Right now they're on sale for $16 a piece. So go look it up. Also, if you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a follow and a review. That would be really great. It helps our brand.
We love comments. We love comments.
Please talk to us and tell your friends.
Definitely share and help. Even your enemies.
Hey, tell your Cowboys fans and your Niners fans to come listen to us and talk shit to us. That's fine.
Right.
Come on. Throw some shade, man, friend.
I have had a request multiple times for us to get like a phone line where people can come in and talk to us.
Yeah, that's interesting. They would have to know that we're recording at between this time, and we never record on time. So
we could do a voicemail where they could leave a voicemail.
Yeah, that's why if they want to leave a message on Instagram, like they leave a voicemail, I'll more than happy to play it from there. So if anybody wants to leave a message, just find us on Instagram, send me a message, voicemail, and we'll play it on the line. We'll do our mailbag for the Instagram mailbag.
There you go. Yeah, talk all the shit. Tell us how bad we are. Tell us how good we are.
Yeah.
Tell Miguel how great he looks. Just all that Eagles.
I'm trying my best here. I'm trying a little gray, man. I was like,
you rock it.
Oh yeah. Too much.
So we got two grays right here.
Two grays there. 2 grays, man.
A little salt and pepper, man.
Yeah.
Yo, it's experience, brother.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Yes. Good and bad experience, but experience nonetheless. All right. So let's get started. The two topics that I want to talk about in the news that have come up, I think, past 2 days is that One, that they're talking about rule changes in the NFL. And throughout this whole year, what was the one rule that everybody complained about?
The tush push.
The tush push, the brotherly shove. It's not a football move. It shouldn't
The
be in the
butt
league.
putt.
The butt putt. Oh, I haven't heard that one, Mark. Sorry.
I just threw it out there.
So that's the one they want to get rid of, and lo and behold, it's time to talk about it. And they brought it up, and everybody's like, "Nah, it's okay, leave it in." There you go, brotherly shove. One more year. I don't think it's ever going to.
You know
go
what?
away.
If we had gotten back to the Super Bowl, and like won on a brotherly shove, they might have been like, they might have been like, stop.
That's a good point. That because we didn't win the Super Bowl with the tush push, they were like, fine, whatever. You can't win.
Positive spin on everything. We purposely threw at the end of the season just so we could keep that in moving forward. I don't like that anymore.
And then the other thing is that they're thinking about getting rid of the chain gang. They've tested, I guess, during the Super Bowl and other stadiums, the lineage and the gainage for the offense. So they're thinking about getting rid of the chain gang, and we're not going to be able to use it, and it's going to be technology driven now. Now I got to
take any umpire out of baseball.
It is like taking an umpire out of baseball, and it's also like, in my mind, it's a little bit like you can kind of like smidge a little bit, finagle like the yardage there without really being,
leads more to a conspiracy.
It's gonna, this whole year has been a conspiracy theory, and so to open something up now to be that it could be, evolve into like, if this guy needed 10 yards and he only got 9 for somebody to win like $1,000, like I go into the betting part. I think that this could benefit and also a lot of people through gambling. If you're not aware of the amount of yardage, like I think it happened in the Super Bowl. Like Brock Purdy needed 16 yards for hit somebody's parlay, and he took a kneel, and he ended with 15.5 or something like that. It was some short number, and that was a parlay, and just because of the QB kneel, I lost money.
But then you also have the guy that bet that there would be a streaker.
Yes,
and bet on himself and actually did the streaking himself and won like $300,000 or something crazy.
Now that's one thing. That's one thing. Well, go for it. You bet on yourself that you're going to do the streaking, but don't tell anybody, because that's like they can come after that guy for
I'm sure they could.
They have to. They got to be able to do that.
That's fixing.
Exactly. Literature, man. Like, yeah, it's definitely fixing.
Well,
so if you're the one that's doing the streaking,
I don't know how they would get that, because like he didn't set it up the books had it as an option. He didn't plan it in the books and then make the bet and then do the streaking. It was an option, and he said,
sure. Yeah, but like, I don't know. There's got to be some sort of loophole where they can't give him the money because he's the one that did it.
I think they owe him the money. I think that they're just never going to have that as a bet again, because I don't think there is a way they can get away with that, because it was an open bet. There's nothing that says it couldn't be him. There's no law that says it can't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Still, that's wild. Like, and he's banned from the NFL. Like, I'm pretty sure if you 100%. Like, he's banned from any NFL game ever again. I think it's like that's what happens. Or something like that.
Yeah. You streak at any NFL game, you're banned for life. I think you're banned from like almost every professional sports league after that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get away with professional cricket because they don't care about us. But
right, they're pretty done.
Cricket could take 3 days to finish a game. So imagine who's going to really pay attention to that. Waiting for a streaker,
right?
Oh man!
Another thing I forgot to mention: they gave out the grades for, and I guess they all the NFL players grade the teams and the facilities that they're part of, and I guess it's all anonymous. Obviously, they grade coaches and all that stuff. And the Eagles came in 4th on the list, which was pretty impressive. And not only did they come in 4th, that Nick Sirianni got rave reviews. Like, a lot of things were said that were very positive. There was not many negative things, if any, for Nick Sirianni. Now that.
What about Brian Johnson?
Since he's not on the team, those weren't
They were so kind
released.
to remove him from the list.
They said that, and so I thought to myself, all these other comments coming out that Nick Sirianni was yelling at people because Big Don wasn't there. It seems to me that there's a lot of people out there blowing smoke, and there's no fire.
That
What do you
even if he was yelling at people at the end for the last couple of games or whatnot, like if you go from being a 10-1 team to collapsing, aren't you gonna be yelling and screaming too?
For sure.
I'd be yelling and screaming. Are you kidding me?
He
And I
was
would
doing-
expect
he-
the coach to be yelling and screaming.
He was doing it though, like in excess.
You think
Like,
so?
yeah, like I mean, there was I get some moments that he did it right,
Yeah.
but there was just some times that where he was just too extra with it. Like, what coach do you know acts like Coach Sirianni that we've
None.
seen in the
None.
past?
None.
So like-
Maybe
like-
McDaniel, that guy. Maybe him. Maybe he does act like that. I don't know. That's the only.
he's more weird than outgoing.
He's more weird than outgoing.
Yeah,
True Philly fans, Pierre Laviolette, at times a little bit like an airhead like that, but
But he's
I
also
mean, he did
not,
try to fight another coach.
right,
Not many coaches do that. Only in Philadelphia do you coaches who try to do that as
Right.
often as we do.
right.
So
It's tough to say that it's who do did they lie on these surveys and that and
doubt
what
it.
really what
are you kidding me? The Chiefs came at like second to last.
yeah
They just won the Super Bowl. Huh?
They were last.
Were they last? Or they were
were
second to
last.
last? Yeah,
wow
they're clearly not lying.
yeah
No.
Because if you win the Super Bowl, you're not absolutely dog shitting on your team. Like,
right yeah
And did you guys? I don't know if you guys saw this part. You would think that these NFL teams feed their players at least 3 times a day, right? Because they're supposed to be in the building, breakfast, lunch, and
dude,
dinner.
a lot of them are charging.
A lot of them are
paying.
not. They're not. They're only getting either 2 meals a day. On a Saturday, there's no service. Like, especially in
Wow.
Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati was one of those teams that they were talking about.
Ooh,
So,
did you see that Cincinnati's doing a turf upgrade?
what does that mean?
and the Jets aren't.
They're getting the same field as the Jets and Giants.
Oh,
Oh no
Mm-hmm. Hey, Joe Burrow. I know there was like a huge hobby having a great comeback here next year, but it sounds like your career just went down the drain.
why don't they just use grass? Why don't they use grass?
I don't know why
Because
isn't
grass is expensive to maintain.
Fuck, these are billion-dollar corporations.
Yeah, I know.
Pennies count, my guy. That's why we're billion-dollar corporations. It's definitely not
billion-dollar
the
pennies.
hundreds of dollars we charge for the nosebleed seats. Those don't make us the money. It's
No.
saving money by using terrible grass and ruining our most prized investments. That's how you make money. You ruin the good things in your life. Come on, you should know this.
You sound like a true Philadelphian right there.
True billionaire, in my opinion.
Billionaire loading.
Hey,
why-
I'm okay with it.
Why is this podcast worth billions of dollars? It's just
'Cause I'm
it just is. It just is.
Takes time, investments.
investing in my future?
I'm speaking into existence. That's what we're doing here. We speak things into existence.
I'm okay if it was worth $1 million.
Yeah. Why isn't it? Why is it worth $1 million? Because it is. It is worth that.
I mean, technically speaking, how many podcasts have we done?
This is number 119.
Jeez.
All right, so it's 119 hours.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know what you guys make. I'm just gonna take a guess based on ages and the years you guys have worked on averages.
Mhm.
So, add the three of us hourly wage. I think would put us around. Let's see. So, let's just do that. So, just in recording time alone, worth about $15,000.
Right.
All the time you've worked on editing and
Tons
all that,
and posting.
probably double that. It's about $30,000. So we're
Sure.
getting there. We're a $30,000 podcast.
Yeah. There it is.
You know,
There it is. Speaking into existence.
if you also include the cost of production, so all the parts we have,
Yeah.
that makes it almost I don't know about you guys, but for combined on my thought of what you guys might have. We're gonna call it a $40,000 podcast. We're just throwing out there that your guys' stuff costs as much as my computer does.
Sure,
$40,000 podcast.
Sure. All right, so we're gonna end this podcast with our team awards that we're gonna give out. I don't know. Do you want to do like a combination, or you guys want to do?
I think there's some that I think.
How do you want to do that?
I would say personally, I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna put it out there. Does anyone here,
mm-hmm.
not just you two, anyone in the Philadelphia area, believe that the Eagles Offensive Player of the Year is anyone except AJ Brown?
No.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. I feel like that's just settled. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say team MVP.
Team MVP is AJ Brown this year.
Probably AJ Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I have it, Jalen.
Okay.
I have Jalen.
You have Jalen?
Okay.
I have Jalen almost 4,000 yards.
I know, but
and most of it's AJ.
Cool.
AJ,
we're not doing around. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing consensus. I said in general, like we all agree on Offensive Player of the Year. Is there anyone? There's just a few that I was eliminating MVP, but we'll talk MVP. The only other two in my head. They probably don't need to be discussed. Offensive Rookie of the Year. We didn't have one.
We don't have one. No offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, we had no offensive rookie.
What'd you put?
I put Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus is like a 6-year player.
Is he?
Yeah, he played like 4 or 5 years in Atlanta.
He looked new to me.
He's a rookie to me.
I mean, the only actual rookie player for us was the quarterback. He got like one snap.
Tanner McGee.
He played like one snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our only. Technically, that's our offensive rookie of the year because the only one that actually played that I know of.
So it's that's just like throwing it.
Actually, no. I guess Steen did. Steen did play O-line. I forgot about that. My bad.
He wasn't starting. He didn't start.
No, but I was just saying if anyone took snaps, but he did take snaps. So I'll give him credit.
Right,
so we don't have an offensive rookie of the year. We all agree on offensive player of the year. Now
offensive player of the year.
I think the rest of the discussion can be had.
Right. So offensive player of the year, we're talking about AJ Brown still. So it's AJ Brown.
I think it has to be. Yeah. So I think me and Mike are in agreement with MVP. But I don't hate on a shot for Jalen. I think that's still a good call.
He was also our VP last year.
I think the only thing that held me up for Jalen on my personal notion was the turnovers and fumbles this year. There's a lot more of them, a lot more turnovers, and that just
very Dak-esque.
Yeah, that hurt my soul. So, but I get it. I'm not gonna argue and say, hey, I accept that. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, MVP done, offensive player of the year done. So now, what are we doing?
How about defensive player of the year?
Player of the year. Okay.
Blankenship.
Go ahead, Miguel. You explain to me why you picked Blankenship because
Blankenship most tackles on the team, 108. He had 3. He had the most interceptions, 3.
Yep.
I think that's about wraps it up because the way the defense fell apart.
That's pretty much. Yeah.
Nobody else makes a statement for that. I mean, the 108. He had me at 108 tackles. I mean, for a safety,
and he missed some games.
Yeah,
and he missed some games.
So, Mark,
how do you feel about that?
I don't hate that. Something real quick. I just had. Where did it go?
No, you wrote it down in your head.
Yeah,
no, there it is. Okay, yeah. So I had 2 options. Okay, they're bit of one of them's a deep cut. I'm gonna hit 4, but it's whatever. The one I'm gonna throw out there. I know he had a bit of a step back from last year, but Hassan Reddick, he's the only one to repeat double-digit sacks. That's a huge thing for every defense. Sacks are amazing. He I think played injured a good chunk of the start of the season. I think that injury was longer held than what he admitted to, at least publicly. But I think he did a pretty good job doing what he had to do. I think obviously we wanted to see more out of him, but at least we saw something out of him. The other one, and this one's not going to sit well. It's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. Go ahead. Here.
Before you switch to that, just a real quick, because they announced what the salary cap is going to be, do we now feel that Reddick will be back? Because I do.
100%.
I think he should be back anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
more so now that
I think especially because they came out and
than
said
what
that
it
they
was.
would agree to like $22 million a year. I think that he's gonna be like, I don't think he's so hung up on 25 mil that he would leave Philly. I think
No.
he loves Philly too much.
There's also been talks that there's a report came out that our teams are interested in trading for him.
Yeah.
If those real or not, I don't know, but you know,
Hey, there were a lot of people that were in talk saying that they wanted Brian Johnson as their coach.
there was, right? Well, there was
Where did he end up going to UCLA or something like that?
Washington.
Washington.
Oh,
No.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they're
Eric,
gonna do
Eric
so
Bieniemy,
poor.
Eric Bieniemy went to
Oh, that's what it was. That's
UCLA.
What it was. That's what it was.
Really, I didn't hear that. I wasn't paying that.
Yeah,
I've been out of it for a little bit. I've been doing a lot of work. I went on vacation. I've been away from football. This is my first real big back football day.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
So my other deep take for defensive player of the year.
Mhm.
Hot take, bad taste in your mouth. Nakobe Dean.
Why?
Because for his time on the field, he was one of the most effective players on the team. He had a 3% missed tackle percentage. For the amount of snaps on the field to tackles and plays he made,
How many games did he play, Mark?
not even 5 full games. But hold on. With the exception of Blankenship, what defensive player really stood out to you this year? A lot of them seem to fail miserably.
I mean,
Yeah.
Our linebacker core fell apart when he was off the field.
Yeah.
We rotated through every linebacker we get our hands on, and they
No.
couldn't do what he did.
right.
That's my hot take. It tastes bad. I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like hot sauce.
I'm gonna push back on that. I have on here as a breakout star and rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year for me is going to be Sidney Brown.
Oh, Sidney
Really?
Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. That's who that. I mean, he was. I mean,
You're going to defensive.
Yeah, wait, we
rookie
didn't
of the
get
year
defensive
right
player of the year from Mike yet.
now? Well, it's
Yeah.
Blankenship. I agree with,
Oh,
with
okay.
Miguel
Okay.
Blankenship.
But yeah,
But you want to go with rookie. So you think Sidney Brown is breakout defensive player, breakout star,
breakout star
and rookie of the year?
Defensive rookie. Of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be a big player, a big part of the secondary when he's eventually healthy enough to complete a whole season. I believe he's going to be a big part of that revamping that Howie Roseman wants to do in that secondary.
Wow.
So, yeah, what he did when he was on the field was, he made an impact. You always heard his name up there. You know what I mean?
Sure,
he was
sure.
out there making plays. He was making hits. So, yeah, I
Mhm.
give it to Sidney Brown for both of those categories.
I would have chosen for defensive rookie of the year Jalen Carter. Yes, he had a really good, I guess, first half, and he fell off in the second half, but it was still good enough for him to
Almost win it in the NFL.
It's definitely more than 5 games,
Right.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go with both y'all on this one. Defensive rookie of the year. I've had both names written down. Jalen Carter that's number one with honorable mention to Sidney Brown. I think Sidney Brown really popped off.
I would definitely say breakout star would be Sidney Brown. I don't know about Jalen Carter and him over Sidney Brown
because we had the lack of rookies on offense to really select from. I kind of gave it just to the two defensive players, which was Sidney and Jalen.
Okay, so we have 2. That's cool.
Right.
So
I would go with that.
For breakout star, I did a breakout defensive player, breakout offensive player. I didn't break it down as star and just other player. My breakout offensive player. Again, you might not like it, and that's fine. I was looking at rookies because our defense was kind of meh. And at first, I locked eyes on Eli Ricks and his 53% completion percentage, which was one of the best of all of our corners. However, then my eyes traveled to young Keely Ringo. 63% completion percentage. Cool, fine. 17 games played, 4 games started, 1 interception. Do you guys want to know what Keely Ringo did this season that I think is kind of worth noting, especially seeing how our corners played?
What's that?
He allowed 26 yards total after the catch, 0 missed tackles. He had a 0% missed tackle percentage. If he got his hand on you, you went down.
Wow.
That's not common in cornerbacks at all. So for a man who, granted, he played all 17 games, started 4 of them. So it's not like he wasn't getting looked at. He obviously wasn't getting the target share that you're going to get with Darius Slay, Bradbury, some of the others up there. But the fact that he didn't let a single player escape him is impressive to me. I feel like that's a break. That to me, that's breakout. You're earning your spot on the roster. You're breaking out, proving like, hey, and that's why when I saw that Isaiah Rodgers is on the team, I think what Keely Ringo did, I think what Eli Ricks did, I think even what Josh Jobs was doing at the end of the year. I'm not as concerned about our secondary as everyone else is or was. Safety, depending on how Sidney Brown recovers, I'm a little concerned. I know you guys just defensive player of the year was Blankenship, but I feel like a lot of the he's seen a lot of wear and tear. I think I feel like it's a lot for him to take on all that. Obviously I expect we're not keeping Byard, Terrell Edmonds, Justin Evans. Like I feel like we're gonna be kind of moving on from all of them. So safety is like my pause.
How he really likes Justin Evans. He had a big.
He does like, yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well,
and Byard, if you cut Byard, you're going to get a lot of money. You're going to save a lot of money.
He's cutting Byard. 100% he's cutting Byard. That was a Band-Aid that didn't work. As much as I love Kevin Byard, I was shocked. Same with Shaq Leonard. Like I really kind of thought Shaq Leonard would at least come in with a little bit more mentality for the game.
Yeah, he's invisible.
And of course, I know like the other safety, other young corner, Mario Goodrich. Look, I hate to harp on you, my guy. You did allow 100% completion percentage. So I'm not looking forward to your performance next year or any year in the future.
If he's even on the team next year.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, when I see what Ricks did, I see what Ringo did, knowing what Rodgers can do, he had phenomenal stuff. And knowing that, hey, if Slay stays, if Bradbury stays, this season wasn't great. But if let's say that, Isaiah Rodgers takes over your number 1 spot next year.
He will. I've been watching him on Instagram. He's ready. Like he's
okay. Exactly.
He's
and then let's say you take Ringo or Ricks at your number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have Bradbury or Slay maybe cover a 3rd receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, that's easy for them, right? It's got to be.
Right. But here's a question for you too. The Cincinnati Chiefs have told Snead to go ahead and find the trade.
Kansas City Chiefs.
What I said?
Yeah, hey Snead.
Cincinnati Chiefs.
I did.
Love
Cincinnati. Wow, you can tell I'm tired.
Right. Snead. I posted something on Instagram and I tagged him in it, and he gave a look. He gave a look at it.
Mm-hmm. Love you, Snead.
I would love him to come here, but after what you just said, Mark, I don't know if the Eagles need him now. He's going to be a lot of money too.
But, yeah,
I mean, if it's a money, if it's a trade for that, is a money thing.
Yeah,
like, why not sign and trade Snead? You can get the same thing back with Bradbury, who's going to have an expiring contract.
Yeah,
it works out for everybody. They get a cornerback back that they can use, and we get a younger cornerback that we definitely need.
No one's saying Bradbury.
And after that year Bradbury had, I wish a blind man probably wouldn't even take Bradbury after watching seeing what he did. I just don't like. I heard that Snead was possibly going to get franchise tagged anyway, and so they aren't going to be able to get him anyway. So I don't know. It's it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully Howie does some magic.
Mike.
Yeah.
Your defensive breakout star.
My defensive breakout star. I put in Nicholas Morrow. He filled in. I don't hate it. He filled in. He was in the top 3 in tackles. He was in the top 3 in assists of tackles. He had, I think, top 2 or top 3 of solo tackles. He was all over the field. I don't know about his percentage and when he was in in coverage and everything, but he definitely filled in for linebacker when we needed it, and he was there. And I don't think anybody was expecting him to do that.
No, I definitely remember seeing his name a lot while watching all these Eagles games, and I don't dislike your pick, but
yeah. But I like the Ringo pick though. I like that. What you said about Ringo definitely changed my mind. Like
definitely.
I definitely feel better about Keely Ringo now.
I think the bitterness of the way the season after that 10-1 start went down kind of blurs our vision of what that secondary did. Just the way
especially the youth.
Yeah. Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo, they stepped up.
Joe played, Ricks played, Ringo played, and they went up against some really tough opponents during those weeks.
Yeah.
And I got to hand it to them. Looking at the numbers now, I'm like, not bad.
No.
Like,
how about breakout offensive star? Now, I picked someone who first year in our team, and first he accomplished something that he has never done before. I picked
the same guy,
DeAndre Swift.
Swifty, my guy.
1,000-yard rushing, top tier in attempts, yards, over 1,000 yards. First time
number
ever.
2 in the team on yards, not counting quarterbacks.
Like that's a breakout right there. And his performance is going to garner some attention from other teams.
Yeah,
I don't want to see him go. I hate the way we're approaching things right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that how he wants to revamp the whole running back room.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it. I just don't. I mean, like when you gave Swift the ball, he gave you everything you could ever want, and then you just didn't give him the ball.
Yeah,
like you just didn't give that man the ball. I just don't.
But that's in the play. That's in the play calling. The play calling is why they didn't give him the ball. The person who was calling offensive plays, which I'm not going to say his name anymore. We all know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. It was quarterback heavy plays. No matter what, quarterback running, quarterback passing. It wasn't run heavy with a running back. Go figure.
I mean, you know what's funny? He had, I believe it was 72 more carries total than Hurts. 72.
Wow.
As a running back.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. No, I mean, that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
500 plus yards more, but only 72 carries. That's it. Yeah. Like, your running back should not, like, that shouldn't be close.
No.
Unless you have, Lamar Jackson. I don't get me wrong. I understand that, yes, Jalen Hurts carries are inflated by the 1 yard, the tush push, all that. But still, I mean, it's so mind-boggling, the difference that we just didn't give him the ball. And he still put up the numbers he did. How do you not bring him back?
Yeah.
And he also got a Pro Bowl nod.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. I mean, I'm all about him. At 21 broken tackles this season, bro, he did so well.
I'm optimistic that Howie is going to look past his tendencies with running backs and go and just keep him here, because going out and getting Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, I don't know if that's the best choice at all. Right. To change up, like you said, change up the running back room to get those guys. I don't know if that's
why would you want to spend that money when you can get for the almost the same amount, a younger version of
exactly.
I think you get it for less.
Exactly.
The other thing is, I think Swift would happily sign with the Eagles. I could be wrong. I don't expect he's coming around to ask for $10 million a year like Miles Sanders did last year. I think you offer him a fair deal.
His career went.
I think you offer him. I think personally, I think a running back. It's going to sound a little low. I think a fair shake, $6-8 million a year.
Mm.
Why not? Why not? I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna risk it again with some 5th string, 6th string running back or 6th round draft pick running back? Say, hey, maybe. Come on, man.
If Howie signs Swift to a reasonable, salary, that might reset the whole running back contracts for everybody, and maybe that's what they're waiting for. Like, what's Henry going to sign for? What's Barkley going to sign for? Because as soon as those guys sign, then Swift is going to know what his value is. So if I was Howie, I'd sign him sooner than later.
Yeah, very true. Just set the market now.
Set the market now.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just run it down here. We have breakout defensive player Keely Ringo. We agreeance with that?
Sure.
Breakout offensive player agreeance with Swift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did. So we have no offensive rookies. So we gave 2 defensive rookies. We got Jalen Carter and Sidney Brown as our 2
Hold
defensive
that.
rookies. Offensive player, we said AJ Brown. Defensive player rookie of the year, Blankenship, which is it's so wild to say that because last year we were talking about him as our defensive rookie of the year because he was our only defensive rookie out there, and now he's our defensive player of the year. It's pretty
And
wild.
we had a lot of defensive rookies to look at.
Yeah.
And no offensive rookies.
And then we have
very true.
What?
I will say that's what I want to touch on that real quick. That's the other part that gives me hope is looking. I mentioned earlier about the youth in our secondary, the youth on our defense in general.
Yeah.
I mean, if you break it down by if I were to list off starters that we think we're gonna have next year, Isaiah Rodgers, I believe, is mid-20s, 25, 26, right?
He's 25, I think. Yeah.
All right, so 25.
Mhm.
Let's give the nod for second string. Let's see who else do we have there at corner. I'm not going to give it to Brad Beresley because I don't think we're going to keep both. I guess Maddox. I'd like to see Keeley.
Yeah, I think they're going to move on from Maddox. I think Maddox
All right.
as soon as he signed his contract, it's been hurt.
Let's hope for the best. Let's say Keeley gets number 2 spot. Okay. So you got 2 guys, 25 and under, at your corners. All right. You go to safety. Let's say Sidney Brown's back. Let's say Blankenship's back. Blankenship's what, 24?
Yeah.
Brown's 23. So you're going to have probably next year 25 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
Linebackers, Nakobe Dean, hopefully he's coming back hopefully nice and healthy. Maybe Philadelphia's happy as a clam and we get Jeremiah Trotter. I doubt it, but just saying, Trotter Jr. coming out. But
how can you mess that up? You can't mess that up.
Oh, they can mess it up.
Again, we'll talk, and that's another podcast. But man,
I know. But where'd he go? I just had him here a second ago. Your boy,
Jordan Davis.
No. You're
Jalen Carter,
linebacker Morrow. He's 28.
Yeah,
that's not very old for a linebacker.
Mm-mm.
Nolan Smith, he's a linebacker edge player. You got your interior line in Jalen Carter. You got your interior line in you just said the other one named Jordan Davis.
Yeah,
that's
a young team,
bro. Our defense is gonna average under 25 years old.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I would like to see. I know Miguel, you'd like to see this too. More Nolan Smith, he was really. There's another talk about how Nick Sirianni was keeping young guys off the field. How you feel about that talk?
Yeah. We've seen it. We saw it firsthand.
Back-to-back years. Back-to-back years.
Yeah, we saw it for the last 2 seasons, and it's dumbfounding on why they would do that. They handicap your own team for veteran players to get playing time.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. You're handicapping the learning chances that these guys have to play in live action,
especially towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
like when we start getting our asses handed to us at that point, it's like, bro, get these guys. Clearly, the veterans need some breaks. Get these young guys some reps, right?
100%. Yeah, when they started going down the toilet, these guys should have been out there and trying to right the ship because the veterans weren't doing it.
I would say I would love to see. I don't know if you guys saw. There's some video going around about Max Crosby, how he's already in the gym every day at 6 a.m. for the Raiders.
Yeah,
and I would love to see that with Nolan Smith, or these other young guys. I would love to see that. The dogs in general, the bird dogs in general, are at the facility every morning, 6 a.m., just putting in the work.
I would love to.
That would make me great.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, especially with Jalen Carter.
Yeah, they got it's not like they have families yet.
Yeah. I mean, not even that part. It's just that,
they're angry.
They're angry the season ended, the way the season ended, the talk that, about Jalen Carter, especially what we talked about the last pod with him and the beef with the guy from the Whiners. So I would hope that not only Jalen Hurts is in there, but Jalen Carter's in there, and all of that young talent to get in there to get stronger and healthier for next season.
I'm not going to lie.
What?
I'm okay if Jalen Hurts is not in there. I'm okay if Jalen Hurts is currently on vacation in Bali trying to just relax because he deserves it. I think he has way too much stress and pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think he is so dead set on bettering himself. And I think that's great. But I would love to just know that he's somewhere taking the vacation he deserves so he can come back refreshed with a clear mind. I'm cool with that. But all the young guys, I want the young guys in there day in and day out. I want them walking into the start of next season and have like the teams looking and be like, Jordan Davis, I thought you were only like 350. How are you this big? Like, how'd you get bigger? Like,
yeah, he's going into his third year. This third year for him is going to be make or break, I say.
For
Jordan Davis, for Jordan Davis.
Team?
He's going to have to perform.
He also only had a 6% missed tackle rating last year.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No.
Yards allowed per completion on him, -3 yards. He only was in coverage for one play. He allowed them to catch it, and he took yards away from him.
It took yards away from it.
You know what? I don't hate. The thing is, like I said, I like to look at these advanced stats. When I'm seeing the fact that Jordan Davis is being double teamed at a rate equal to that of like Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
He's not going to put up the numbers. He's doing exactly what he did at Georgia.
Yeah.
And that it's not going to look good. It's never going to look good. He's never going to give you the numbers you want to see out of like a Fletcher Cox or an Aaron Donald.
Right.
Because his whole job at Georgia was, I'm going to take up these two guys and plug this hole. And he's doing the same thing now. The difference is you got to have the linebackers coming through those gaps that he is now leaving wide open for you.
Right.
And we're just not doing that.
Right.
Yeah, well, two things with that. Not only the linebackers having to be in the spot they need to be in, what are the other guys doing that are not getting double teamed? And why weren't they getting pressure towards that? Where was Josh Sweat at? Where was everybody else at?
That I agree with, and that's why that's why I look at it and go, I feel like Reddick. I don't hold too much against him for not having as big a season as last year. A, last year was really good for him, and B, he still got double-digit sacks. At least he was getting back there doing his job. The other guys, BG wasn't on the field as much. Okay, I get it. Fletcher Cox, a little bit older. Josh Sweat, I really thought was going to have a crazy season, and he didn't.
No.
Nolan Carter should have been on the field more.
I don't remember who said this, but I know I saw it on Instagram, and it was in an interview, and somebody said the reason why Josh Sweat didn't have the season that he had the season prior is because the team was missing Sue and
Hargrave?
No,
Joseph.
Joseph.
Really?
Yeah, because they were the ones that helped Josh Sweat get to where he needed to get to, and that's why he didn't have the season that he had the previous year. I mean, kind of makes sense because his season did take off when they arrived that one season.
So. Hey, he's got to capitalize on what comes up next year, though. I mean, Milton Williams had a pretty good year.
Mm-hmm.
He stepped up a little bit. I think you're going to continue to see growth. I really do. I think you're going to see a lot of growth out of the Bird Dogs we have. I think they're going to stick together. And, I think Josh Sweat Josh Sweat's still young, too. That man's 26.
Yeah.
Has Howie come out and said what type of defense they're going to play next year, or has anybody come out and say that?
The defense that we were running already was kind of like Vic Fangio's anyway.
Right.
It wasn't Vic Fangio, so
it's going to be Vic Fangio. That's what it's going to be. Did you see that the Eagles at the Combine, they talked to the safety from Georgia, Bullard? Like,
what a surprise!
Like, are they serious about going to draft another Bulldog from Georgia? They're already interviewing him already. Like, is that possible?
Might be. Who knows?
Crazy.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
There are only 3 players that played for the Eagles this year on defense that are older than me.
3.
I'm
so old, guys. I hate that. I'm at the end of my NFL career, boys.
But you really want us to feel sorry for you? You think we're over here like I
Think-
I
you
cried
know.
on my 35th birthday because I'm like, I'm done in the NFL. I never stepped foot in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
I'm done.
I just turned 43. Good Lord.
Oh,
God
man.
damn. Like I'm looking at going like, all right. I was like, I by the time Nolan Smith was born, I was already in like fourth grade. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
You know when it starts to hit you, Mark? When people that you've seen as a child start dying.
Mhm.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like R.I.P. Virgil, the $1 Million Man's manservant, passed away yesterday at the age of 70. So
Bro, you know what hit me really hard?
Owen Anderson.
Beginning of this season, I remember being in middle school outside with my buddies playing basketball during the NFL draft, where pick number 7 was Darrelle Revis to the New York Jets. I was hype on Revis coming out of college. I wanted him, and I was like, damn, man, going to the Jets is still going to be a monster. Called it then while I was like a young kid. Not only is he already retired, then I saw him at a Hall of Fame nomination, looking like that man should have never played the sport.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's quickly how fast they fall out of shape, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you see Joe Thomas next to him, who looks like he's never been in better shape in his life. That man could say, "Hey, I'm trying out to be a tight end for the NFL," and you'd be like, "Yeah, I would expect you to." God damn.
Well, before we came on the pod today, I told Miguel that Tom Brady just ran his 40-yard dash as a 46-year-old, and he beat himself at 22.
That's wild.
It's wild.
Like you see that way. That like, look, of all things, we talk shit on, and that's one of the reasons. Like, I hate some people in the leagues, like just because of who they are. But then you look at what makes them who they are. It's like obviously cocky ass Brady winning every Super Bowl in my goddamn life was not something I wanted to see. But then you look at the way that man treats working out. Like I was just talking about how I want Hurts to go on vacation. I think Brady took a 1-week vacation every year, 1 week, and he was back to it. That man was like, I'm waking up, I eat this much food, I sleep this much, I work out in these sections every goddamn day to better myself.
Yeah.
Look at him now. He's still healthy as shit.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's crazy. It's crazy. Some of these guys take it to a whole new level. I mean, I'm not a huge basketball guy. Kobe Bryant, like the same way. R.I.P. Kobe. But like as playing against him, I couldn't stand it. It was like, we're playing it's one of those things like you're playing against him, like your chances of winning are next to none because it's Kobe. You know, motherfucker. Like he just why?
What it's going to be for me is Michael Jordan. That will mess me up for a while because he was the best for me, and that was. When he retired, it was the worst when he retired.
That's where it really shows our difference.
Okay.
Not that I still respect him as the greatest to play.
Yeah.
However, my earliest memories of him are watching him get crossed up by AI.
Yeah. Well,
I will always cherish. But I like when people talk about like the best players of all time. I know I'm an outlier. Although I think that he still he's getting more credit. I think people are starting to really kind of give him credit for what he did when he did. I always put AI up there. He's not obviously not like a top 5 starting 5, but I say if you're talking about the best players of all time and you don't name AI in like your top 50, top 100 players, you're insane. Like,
oh no, he definitely was. He definitely was.
And he went up against these great defensive players at the time and just made them look silly. His dribbling skill, they probably aren't going to translate today because I think he started this whole era. Well, he might not start, but he was around the start of this era where it was like we're going to take dribbling to a new level.
Yeah, it's him.
But I think he was one of the first early guys to do it.
Mayberry was in that.
Yeah, that whole and one run.
Yeah, right. Yep.
I again, not a basketball player. I owned like 5 and 1 stuff, like shirts, shorts, and 1 shoes. Like that was my thing because it was like AI. It
was a great documentary on A1. There's a great documentary on that. I think it's on Netflix or ESPN. I can't remember, but
I'll check it out.
Check it out. It's a really good documentary.
Bringing up AI had an interview with Shaquille O'Neal where he told him that during the I don't know if it was a finals game or sometime when they played each other that Shaq gave him the worst injury that he had during his whole career, and then he tried to fight Shaq, and then that's when Shaq like gave him his respect because I don't know if you've seen how small he was compared to Shaq. I think he got up to Shaq's waist, literally.
Yeah.
But like he never backed down from Shaq. Like he was in Shaq's face about it. But it was funny
AI.
to see them too. And then he tried to help him up, and AI was pissed that he helped him up.
Shaq could
He's
literally
like,
pick
you
up
hurt
most
me and then help
people
me up.
Yeah.
like this.
Shaq.
AI was not a big man. I think AI was 5'11", 6 foot flat, which in the NBA is tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big guy can play. Guy can play though.
Yeah, he had heart though. He
He
had
could
heart.
jump.
He did.
Jump.
Yeah.
But
As long as you have heart, man, Philly will love you.
Yeah.
But I said that's my earliest like real memory of basketball is watching. Like I said, I didn't really watch it growing up. My family was it was a hockey house and a football house.
Yeah.
I happened to watch that game because it was Jordan, and AI said, "Nah, this is my game."
That was his rookie year, I think, too. That was his rookie year when
he put a name on the floor, and I was like,
that's the thing. That's one Philly athlete that I wish had won a championship.
100%.
100%.
I'd like to see Embiid get it. Honestly,
yeah.
I'm not a huge basketball person, but I feel like Embiid. I mean, especially when I'm looking at the fact, I got a neighbor who's a huge basketball fan, and they were talking about the fact that Embiid, I guess from when he started the season to his injury, had played better basketball statistically than like any player in history.
Yeah,
and it's
ask your neighbor about Tobias Harris. How he feels about Tobias Harris.
Is he not doing too well?
I'm not sure what he does. He's almost like the Nick Sirianni of the 76ers.
I thought you were going to call him
No. Tobias Harris has been a solid third.
No, he's not. He has
been this year. He has been solid this year. He has been. I'm sorry.
The most solid person is Tyrese Maxey. He's the most solid.
He's your number 2. That's why he's your number 2.
Yeah.
Think about it though. We could have gotten rid of Simmons. We could have kept Butler, Embiid. And had Maxey. I think did Maxey play the same position as Butler?
Yes.
Yes.
Damn.
They would have.
I mean, you could move him to the 3 though. You can move Butler to the 3.
That's nasty.
Yeah, you could
have. Should have kept Butler.
This year's done. I don't think.
I mean, if you really reflect on this past, I'd say year and a half of Philadelphia sports.
Can we not? We're looking at positive things.
Reese Hoskins injury, the Embiid, the collapse with Harden, right?
Yeah.
And the Eagles again with their collapse. The Flyers with their sexual harassment case in Canada with the goalie, and then the one guy that wanted to get traded and got traded out of here. You know
what though? The Flyers actually still looking good. They're putting up some games.
Actually, I think right now between the Philly, I guess I would say between the Sixers and the Flyers, I believe are the top 2 teams right now that have a best chance.
Just keep in mind, the other night we played the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are one of the top teams in the league. We beat them 6-2.
That's great. Well, let's not talk about hockey. Let's.
I'm always down to talk about hockey.
And Chip Kelly. Hockey and Chip Kelly.
I wasn't going to say it.
We almost made it through the whole pod. I was going to give you the out to get us out of here.
I had to throw it in there. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say on that one.
It's the next podcast. We'll start our next season. Season 3, going into season 3 of the podcast
with the Chip Kelly podcast. Let's go.
And we're going to do our best not to mention Chip Kelly.
Can we do like a swear jar? Like if you say Chip Kelly, you have to donate $5 to.
Yep, Chip Kelly jar. Chip Kelly jar.
The Squawking Eagles Foundation.
I'm gonna start off next podcast with some chocolate chip cookies, and I'm gonna sell them on Kelly Drive. Oh man, I didn't bring it up.
But I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I brought that bad news up for a reason. I have it on good authority and good information, and I can't divulge it just yet. But there may be some earth-shattering news about to drop from the Philadelphia organization. I can't really get into detail on the air, Mark. I will tell you after we finish this pod. Mm-hmm. But I feel if this rumor that I've heard is true, which I highly believe is.
You believe it's true?
I believe it's true. It comes from a great source.
Okay.
And I just feel like as we view this team right now, it's not going to look the same going into the season if they make whatever's supposed to happen.
Wow.
Off season.
Yeah. Wow. We'll leave you
I
with
think,
that.
I think that whatever the roster looks like right now, whatever the team looks like right now, will be completely different by the time we get to actual week 1.
Be completely different.
Right.
Wow. I can't wait to hear what this is. On that note, thank you for listening. This is ending our season 2 of the Squawking Eagles podcast. Catch us next week. We're going to review the combine and we're going to talk some Eagles draft options and
Nate Wiggins.
Maybe, I don't know.
What? Sorry, just a little preview next week. What?
Yep. I'm Mike, Mark, Miguel. Thanks, guys. Thanks for another full season on the podcast.
Thank you, Mike, for always having us, brother. You know we always ride with you.
The Eagles are forever great. We love them.
Eagle, because we do that EAGLES.
Eagles.
Go Birds. Hey, Mike, hit that suspenseful music, man. Ding, ding, ding.